What's going on, everybody? This is Almost Counts Collectibles, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the original Wizards of the Coast Pokemon promotional Black Star promo cards. Now we're going to be talking about numbers 1 through 53, but we're also going to include Aincent Mew at the end for a total of 54 cards. Now, as you all may know, Wizards of the Coast actually lost their licensing, and they no longer published the Pokemon cards after a while, so that's why you no longer saw the Wizards of the Coast stamp on the packs. But we're going to talk about those original cards that they released. Now, just about all the cards we're going to talk about have a Pocket Monster Japanese origin. They were just re-released in the English language with basically as a promo card with the stamp on the side that says promo. Just about all of the cards are pretty easy to obtain on eBay or maybe other avenues at a reasonable price, with the exception of two. Now, some of the cards in this set were exclusive English releases, such as the artwork was only released in an English form and never in Japan. So those cards are a little bit more valuable. We'll talk about them as we go along. But first up in the set is Pikachu. Now, naturally, their first English release would have to be Pikachu, and this is what's most commonly referred to as the Ivy Pikachu. Now, down here in the bottom right corner, you will see the number of the card in that promo set, and this is number 1, Ivy Pikachu. This card was released in July of 1999. All right, next up, we have number 2 in the set. This is actually part of a 4-card release, and these cards were released for the Mewtwo Strikes Back theatrical release, and you will see all 4 of the cards have the golden Warner Brothers Pokemon, the first movie stamp, up here in the right. And first up is Electabuzz coming in at number 2. Next up, we have none other than Mewtwo, again with the golden Pokemon, the first movie stamp. Very, very cool card. How would you not have Mewtwo as one of your cards? And then how would you also not have Pikachu as one of your first movie releases? There is the Pikachu with the golden Warner Brothers stamp. Coming in at number 4. All right, next up we have number 5. None other than Dragonite. This is the last card in the set. The golden stamp up here on the right. And you've got Dragonite flying with his satchel to deliver some more invitations. Alright, next up we have Arcanine. Now, this is a very cool card. Arcanine is one of my favorite Pokemon. This card was released in March of 2000. Alright, next up we have Jigglypuff. Now, Jigglypuff was actually released with the Pokemon the First Movie soundtrack. So that was how you could pick this card up, and that is number 7 in the set. Alright, next up, one of my personal favorites. There's actually 2 different cards of this. So this is number 8 in the set, and this is a non-holographic Mew. And we're going to move right along to number 9, and this is holographic Mew. Now, this was the only version of this card we got in the English language because it was removed from the fossil set. In the Pocket Monster version of this card, it was actually released with the fossil set. It was not a promotional card. It came with the set. But in the English language, it was removed from that set, but we did get it in a release as a promo card. Now, the first one, number 8 over here, the non-holo, was released in January of 2000. And in April of 2000, we got the holographic version. This is one of my favorite Pocket Monster fossil cards, and probably one of my favorite original release cards, period, was the Mew card. Very, very cool. Alright, next up we have Meowth. Now, Meowth, as you can see here in the bottom right, it says GB. This game, well, this card was released with the Pokemon, the trading card game. So the trading card game actually came with this promotional card if you pick that up for Game Boy, and this is number 10 in the set. Very, very cool. Next up we have Eevee. Was released in June of 2000. Very, very cool Eevee card. Alright, next up we have number 12 in the set. Now this is Mewtwo. Now the illustrator of this card, Christopher Rush, he actually illustrated another very popular Magic the Gathering card, the Black Lotus. So if you want to know what that is, go ahead, check it out. But he illustrated both of those cards, the Black Lotus and this Mewtwo, which is probably why it's so cool. Probably one of my favorite pictures for Mewtwo as far as the promo cards go. Alright, next up we have Venusaur. Now this promo Venusaur was actually released with the Pokemon the Trading Card Game guide. So if you picked up that guide, odds are you probably got one of these. And Venusaur is the only Pokemon of the original 3 starter Pokemon that got their own promo card. Now, one of them makes an appearance in another card, but it's not a solo card just for them. It's actually a trainer card. But that is a Venusaur. Alright, next up we have Mewtwo. Now, in my opinion, this card would have been one of the best Mewtwo cards they released back then if this would have been holographic, especially if the yellow and green would have been a different holographic than the black. This card would have really popped, but that's just my opinion. This card right here was released with the Mewtwo Strikes Back VHS DVD release, so you could pick this up if you picked up a copy of that when it came out. Very cool card. Alright, next up, Cool Porygon. Now, this card actually came with the Nintendo 64 Pokemon Stadium bundle when it came out. And I actually picked up that bundle for the game, of course, for Pokemon Stadium, but also largely because of this card right here. Back in the day, a lot of people thought this card would be worth a fortune, but it never really grew in value. You can pick one up today still fairly cheap. This is my original one. As you can see, it's still in the original plastic packaging. I just put it down in this top loader to keep it from getting damaged. So that was Cool Porygon at number 15. Alright, coming in next we have 16, Computer Error. Probably one of the least impressive promo cards. I mean, it's pretty basic. But that is Computer Error. And Computer Error came out in May of 2000. And that is a trainer card. Alright, next up we have Dark Persian. Dark Persian was released through Nintendo Power Magazine, I believe. And it came out in August of 2000. And that is holographic Dark Persian. Alright, next up at number 18, we have Team Rocket's Meowth. I mean, it's a silly looking card. You got Meowth dancing there. Team Rocket's Meowth came out in August of 2000. Alright, next up we have Sabrina's Abra. Now, Sabrina is one of my all-time favorite gym leaders. And she got her own Pokemon release promo. Now, there was another, Misty's Psyduck actually had a Wizard's Gold Stamp release, but it wasn't technically a promotional card. This is number 19 in the set, and it came out through Nintendo Power Magazine in October of 2000. Sabrina's Abra. Alright, next up we have Psyduck. Speaking of Psyduck, this is number 20. And this card pretty much embodies everything there is about Psyduck. He's in the water, he's clueless, and Headache is one of his attacks. Now, Psyduck came out in September of 2000. Alright, next up we have one of a 3-card set. These are 3 legendary birds here. And first up we have Moltres. Now, these came out with the Power of One movie theatrical release. So there was Moltres at number 21. Number 22, we have Articuno. And then we have Zapdos. Now, Zapdos probably my all-time favorite legendary bird, but Articuno is a close second. So that was the 3 legendary birds released for the Power of One movie. Alright, moving right along, we have the infamous birthday Pikachu here. Now what you would do is write your name on that line, and it was supposed to be your Pikachu. This is number 24, Very good looking holographic card. Now you could pick this up through a Wizards Mail giveaway, and that ran from September to November of 2000. All right, next up we have the original promo Flying Pikachu card. This card's been re-released a couple times, I think. Most recently, I believe, was the Evolutions line. You could pick up a Flying Pikachu. And then we have another Pikachu at number 26 here. Now, this Flying Pikachu was released in August of 01, and so was this Pikachu. And then we have what some people have referred to as Tiger Pikachu, because it kind of looks like a little tiger with the stripes, I guess. But this is number 27. And this Pikachu was released with the Power of One VHS DVD release. Then we have Surfing Pikachu, just a run of Pikachus here. This is number 28, and this was released in August of 2001. This card was also re-released in the Evolutions line. Alright, next up we have Meryl. Now, Meryl came out in December of 2000, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you could pick up Meryl in the starter set of the Neo Genesis when it came out. And that is Meryl. Alright, next up we have Togepi. Togepi was released in January of 2001. Cool little card there. Next up we have Cleffa, number 31 in the set. Alright, then we have Smeargle, coming in at 32. Now these cards were released in early 2001. Togepi came out in January, Cleffa came out in February, and Smeargle came out in March. Alright, next up we have Scizor. A lot of people say Scizor, however you want to pronounce his name, but this is number 33 in the set. Very cool Pokemon, by the way. Scyther was one of my favorite original Pokemon. Alright, then we have the first reverse holo in the promotional line, and this was Entei. Now, Entei came out with the Spell of the Unknown theatrical release, is where you could pick this card up at. Very cool card. And then next up we have another reverse holo. We have Pichu. Pichu was released in April of 01. And then we have Igglypuff. Well, Igglybuff. I always say Puff for some reason. But this is number 36 in the set. And you could pick this up in May of 2001 is when it was released. Then we have Hitmontop at number 37. Was released in July of 01. Alright, next up we have the Unknown J. Now the Unknown J was released with the VHS DVD release of the Spell of the Unknown. Then we have Misdrevious. Misdrevious was released in September of 01, and this is number 39 in the set. Alright, number 40. Now, I talked about those English exclusive releases, and this is one of them. This is the Pokemon Center. This is number 40 in the set, and this is actually a Gem Mint 10 graded card. Now, this card was released exclusively at the New York City Pokemon Center opening, and that is the only place you could get this card was when they handed it out at the opening of that center. So it's an English exclusive card. It was released in 2001. Now the picture itself really isn't that impressive, but the rarity, the fact that you could only get this card from the opening of that one specific location, makes it pretty rare. And I actually paid $190 for this card. Now the price continually goes up on this and the next card, so I just went ahead and grabbed one before it was too late. I've been looking at getting one for the last couple years, and it seems like the price on them have been going up pretty steadily, so I just went ahead and grabbed one. And this is my Gem Mint 10 Pokemon Center Wizards of the Coast promo card. Alright, next up at 41, this is also a Gem Mint 10 from PSA. Both of these are PSA, by the way. And this is Lucky Stadium. Now, this Lucky Stadium card, I believe, is much more interesting than the Pokemon Center. Obviously, because it has not only Charizard in the illustration, but it also has Pikachu and Pichu. And you can see New York City here in the background. You can see the Pokeball here on top of the building. But this is number 41 in the set, Lucky Stadium, a Gem Mint 10 out of 10. And I dropped $260 on this card. And there it is. All right. Coming in at number 42, we have the Pokemon Tower. Now, the Pokemon Tower was released in January of 2002. Then we have Machamp, coming in at number 43. Machamp was released in February of 2002. Then we have Magmar, was released in March of 2002 at number 44. Coming up next is Scyther. Scyther was released in April of 2002, coming in at 45. Then we have Electabuzz, which was released in May of 2002. Then we have Lilypad Mew. Now, Lilypad Mew here was released in June of 2002. Very, very cool version of Mew. Alright, then we have Articuno. Articuno was released in July of 2002. And Articuno is number 48 in the set. Actually, 2 Articuno promo cards. We showed the other one earlier. Alright, then we have Snorlax. Very cool illustration of Snorlax. This is number 49 in the set. Snorlax was released in August of 2002. Alright, number 50 is currently in this packaging, and I can't bring myself to open it to show you guys, but this is Celebi. Celebi was released with the Celebi, the Voice of the Force theatrical release, and it came inside this packaging right here. The card itself really isn't that impressive, which is all the more reason why I can't bring myself to open this. I'll probably pick up an opened one on eBay just to have it, but this is my sealed Celebi, and that is number 50. Alright, next up we have Rapidash. Now, Rapidash was released through the Pokemon Center, so Pokemon Center, New York. It also says it was released through Nintendo Power Magazine, so I don't know if it was sent out through the magazine, and it was distributed by the Pokemon Center because it was an exclusive to them, or what the deal was with that. Maybe you could clarify in the comments down below. But this was a Pokemon Center from the New York card. Now, this wasn't handed out at the opening, which is why this isn't nearly as rare or as valuable as the other two we just showed you, the Lucky Stadium and Pokemon Center. But this is a Rapidash. Alright, next up we have another Pokemon Center release. We have Ho-Oh here. Pokemon Center / Nintendo Power Magazine release in November of 2002. Both of these were November of 2002. And that is Ho-Oh. Alright, lastly, number 53 in the set, we have Suicune. Now, this was released with the Voice of the Forest VHS DVD release. And that is number 53. That's going to round out the actual numbered set. But we're going to talk about one more card, and that is Aincent Mew. In my opinion, the coolest promo card that was put out, and that is the Aincent Mew card you see here. I still have my original sealed one that I was handed when I went and saw Pokemon the movie. But this card is, I mean, it's beautiful. It's holographic all the way through on both sides. I mean, the illustration is amazing. You've got the ancient writing. And then on the back, is even completely holographic. In my opinion, the best looking, anyway, visually, promo card that was released. And that is the Aincent Mew. Alright, everybody, that's pretty much going to wrap up our review here of our original Wizards of the Coast promo cards. Now, these two cards that you see behind me here, these two cards, even ungraded, are still going to run you quite a bit of money. All right, you're talking $150 to $200 for each one. The Lucky Stadium being a little bit more expensive, mainly because of the better illustration. But if you're looking to put this collection together, these are the two cards that are going to give you problems and probably hurt your wallet the most. All right, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Stay tuned. I've got a lot more stuff coming at you, and not just Pokemon stuff. We have a huge collection of all kinds of things that we're going to be doing videos on. So stay tuned for that. Please like and subscribe so you can check out more videos. And until next time, guys, I will see you next video.